Good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you are, or good middle of the night. My name is Mary McClements, and I am a trauma and career clarity coach at From Within Coaching. I'm going to wait a few minutes to jump in, just waiting for people to join. I hope you're having a great day. I am in Colorado, and it was a chilly morning this morning. Was not expecting it because it's been like summer here, and which I love. So putting long pants on for the first time is always a little sad for me. I like shorts. I love the summer. All right, well, I am going to get started. So, again, my name is Mary McClements, and I'm a trauma and career clarity coach at From Within Coaching. And I'm going to be talking today a little bit more about communication and how it relates to and works with our Clifton Strengths. The first live session that I did around communication, I want to do like a little review. We discussed what the elements are of effective communication, some examples of ineffectual communication. I recommended that folks do a love banana drawing. Don't be intimidated by drawing. It's pretty simple. It's an awareness activity, and where you choose one of your Clifton strengths, the one that you love so much, and you draw a picture of that, and then the other picture, you draw a picture of one that drives you bananas, and it can be the same thing. We also talked about what do strengths have to do with communication, and how does each theme gravitate towards certain communication styles. So let's pick up from there. So just to recap, a communication style is a person's communication patterns and preferences that they use in various situations. However, doing what comes naturally is only sometimes a reliable recipe for success in communication. Because, well, let me add that everybody, whether they know it or not, has a natural and unconscious communication style that they use without thinking. And you can achieve the best results by adapting your style to the style of the other person. And that's really hard. It is not easy. Oops, sorry, I have a call coming in. My apologies. So adapting to another person's style it's not natural. And it takes a lot of energy. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. So if you're forced, or if you choose to adapt to another person's communication style for an extended period, we eventually run out of energy and we just revert to our natural style. And under stress, we tend to revert to our natural communication style. We don't plan it. It's just familiar. It's easy for us. So it's really important to know your preferred style first. So unfortunately, Facebook was not allowing me to share my screen earlier, so I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way and hold something up. So an individual's preferred style depends on where they fall along on these two axes. In general, let me make this a little clearer. Is that better? Okay, yeah, this is so 1985, but here we go. So you can see, hopefully, that in this visual, you have faster and direct communication style. You have slower and indirect. And then you have open and people focused. And then you have guarded and task focused. So let me chat about these for a second, and I'm going to move this over here. And I'll keep holding it up. Wow. All right, so faster versus slower. Faster versus slower. This is the speed generally at which a person speaks, and it's a function of how swift or delayed they are at making decisions analyzing problems, walking, even talking, keeping in mind that being slower does not imply less intelligence. It simply means that the speaker is more thorough and considers more variables when making decisions. And then the direct versus indirect. This is how explicit the communicator is. Do they say exactly what they mean regardless of how they feel? Or do they value politeness and compassion over clarity? Not that the direct people are being impolite or non-compassionate. And then guarded versus open. This refers to how the person is when sharing their thoughts, feelings, and needs. Do they take a long time to warm up, or do they tell anyone who will listen about their personal life? And then task focused versus people focused. A task focused person considers the actions required to complete a task, and people focused person considers the feelings of the people involved and the impact the task has on them. All right, so there's the next visual. Sadly, it's not a screen share. This could actually kind of be laid on top of the other one. So actually, let me go back to this. So I know that I'm over here. All right, I'm in this direct kind of people focused. I know that about myself. And I know that I have some ability to adapt to other people's communication styles. So this next one, let's see if you can get it, see it. All right, this could be laid on top of that other one. And this is, so these are kind of categorizing more the types of communication styles. There is the director, the socializer, the thinker, and the relator. Okay, so because I was in the upper right-hand quadrant on the last one, I am more of a socializer communication style. So let's talk about what each one of these means. And not just what each one of these means, but how to recognize each, not only in yourself, but in others, which is going to play into my third session on communication, where we talk about group communication. All right, so director. They tend to be fast talking, maybe a little impatient. They are direct and to the point. They move quick to action, and they tend to be really good at making eye contact. The socializer, they smile a lot, crack jokes, tell stories. I love telling stories, often personal ones. They tend to be excitable. They tend to be fast talking. What else about those socializers? They tend to be pretty comfortable to talk to, and they tend to mirror others well. And then the thinker, they may sound more monotone or unenthusiastic. Does not mean that they're not enthusiastic. They may speak with a lack of hand motions or without eye contact. They're thinking, they're in their heads, right? Trying to figure out the best solution. And they often ask a lot of questions. So I wonder if any of these are sounding familiar to you about yourself, or to maybe people you work with or a family member. And then the last one is relator. And relators, they tend to listen well and wait for you to finish speaking. They're good at asking questions and tend to have a softer voice. And they also tend to be very patient and show genuine care. So there is no one communication style that is better than another. I would say that some communication styles are better in different situations than others, but there's no judgment on on any of the communication styles. And it's important. Let's say, at work, you're in it with a group of people and there's some sort of communication rift. Really understanding and learning not only your colleagues' communication styles, but their Clifton Strengths. And so a lot of times these Clifton Strengths fall into one of those quadrants, or they may be spread across. Um, but the best way to start to communicate better within a group is understanding the other people in your group, and their communication styles and their Clifton strengths. So we can talk a little bit more. We're going to talk a lot more about that in my third session. So this was just a little taste today. I'm really excited to talk about communication in groups. It's one of my favorite topics. Like, we think it's so easy to just communicate with a group, but when everyone comes in with different styles, right, and different Clifton strengths and different backgrounds and histories, it actually can be really challenging to communicate clearly within a group. So join me on November 4th at 12:30 Eastern Time for the next installment around communication, when I'll talk about group communications and what is needed to be successful there. And please check out the From Within website for more events happening soon, like an event open to everyone on October 17th, 2024, 12 p.m. Eastern. This is a Clifton Strengths event, digging into your Clifton Strengths more. Then there are 2 Women Over 50 Clifton Strengths, one on November 9th and at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and one on November 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then another one, and those are for both women over 50. And then the last one that we have scheduled right now is a Clifton Strengths event open to all, December 4th, 2024 at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope that this has been, hi Megan, just got a little note. I hope this has been informative, quick little dip into communication styles, and yeah, I hope the rest of your day is really productive, whatever you need it to be, and that you communicate, and then you're able to communicate well. All right. Thank you so much. Bye bye, everybody.